Why are functions in the where clause an issue?
Oh, this is one of those things that it can be, I don't know, a little bit misleading. And that if you're saying select from a table where your zip code column equals something, well, that's the thing that SQL Server can index and can get there quickly. But if you are selecting from a table and saying where the length of the zip code equals 5, for instance, let's say you're looking at US zip codes and you're trying to rule out the 5 codes, or find all the 5 code zip codes versus the 5+4 or the 9-digit zip codes. If you put in, let's say you've got a table with 5 million rows, and in the where clause you say where the length of the zip code equals 5, well, in that case, you've got to call that length function on all 5 million rows. And even if that length function took a tenth of a millisecond to run, it has to be run 5 million times, once for every single row. And even a tenth of a millisecond being run 5 million times can take a very long time to run on those bigger tables. Now, one of the things you could do in that case, if that was something that you had to regularly check for, is maybe set up a computed column, or perhaps have a column that with a trigger on it, that every time the zip code field changes, you have a column that updates to say how long it is, for instance, if that's something that's commonly being used. We've seen examples where date add is being used to calculate, well, is this event date somewhere within so many days of our current time? Well, if you're saying, for instance, if you're trying to take 5 million rows and do a date add and add 2 days to it to determine is it within 2 days of today, and then comparing that to the day, that's really inefficient. That could take many minutes to run. Whereas instead, if you said where that date is greater than or less than date add of 2 days from today, that could be a lot more efficient, because if you're doing it on a fixed field like today, or a specific date and time like get date, well, in that case, you're only doing it once instead of doing it 5 million times. If your table has 5 million rows in it, it'd be a lot more efficient that way. We've worked with clients on this where, and if you're one of the clients we've worked with on this and you're listening to this and you think, oh boy, we're talking about you. No, we're not talking about you, because we've worked on this with so many different clients that we're always talking about the other one. So with that, when we work with clients where they've got a slow running query where it really is bogging down their entire system and impacting overall performance, and we find that, yeah, it happens to be that there's some function in the where clause, and we change it around the logic a little bit, and it's doing the same work, but we're able to have it run like 100 or 1,000 times faster just by not doing so much work, by calling that function that many times based off the rows in that table.